Breaking news, breaking news. The Eagles are getting ready for free agency, and they started by cutting Avonte Maddox. Dallas still stinks. You're by the way, Kick Dingbat here, and breaking news. We got Eagles breaking news happening right now, and I gotta tell you, I'm not surprised that this move happened. I'm just surprised that this move happened right now. And what am I talking about? This. Adam Schefter is reporting more roster moves. The Philadelphia Eagles are releasing cornerback Avonte Maddox after 6 seasons per source. He had a $9.6 million salary cap hit for 2024. The two sides will keep talking and are open to a reunion. So the Philadelphia Eagles cut Avonte Maddox. They cut him. Avonte Maddox is gone. He's gone. See you later. Gotta go. Bye-bye. And I'm not surprised that they cut him. I'm surprised at when they cut him. Okay, this is what I'm trying to figure out right now. Now, I had just come home and just finished filming a video, get ready to go back to work. I came home for lunch to film. This news broke, so I'm trying to film this and get this out to you guys before I go back, and I'm not late so I don't get in trouble. But John McMullen said this: Avonte Maddox was set to count $9.6 million against the cap, and this move will save the Eagles $1.9 million in cap space. So the Eagles are going to save about $1.9 million. Now you're saying to me, all right, Philly, they're saving about $2 million in cap space. What are you perplexed about? And what I'm perplexed about is this. John McMullen said, if the Pound Eagles would have designated him as a June 1st cut, it would be a $7.1 million cap savings on June 2nd. But the reunion talk might complicate the avenue. So I'm assuming, and what's perplexing to me is that the Eagles just didn't designate him a June 1st cut, wait till June 1st, and then save the $7.1 million. I guess trying to bring him back this year, it would be harder to do if you waited till after June 1st. So I would assume that in some way, somehow, some shape and form, Avonte Maddox most likely will be back with the Eagles. Because otherwise, why not get the $7.1 million in cap savings instead of only $2 million? That's $5 million. Now, you want to know what the Eagles, what's their cap number at? We're about $44 million under the cap right now. And we're under the cap, and that's not including what they're going to do with Hassan Reddick and some of the other moves that the Eagles could do. But cutting Avonte Maddox right now saves you $2 million. You're getting another $1.5 million with Kelsey retiring. So the Eagles are in great spot for the cap. If they wind up extending Hassan Reddick, that's $11 million more. The Eagles are going to be easily at $60 million when this whole thing is said and done. The question is why settle for $2 million when you could have gotten $7 million? And McMullen's saying that it would have made it more complicated for the Eagles to bring him back in June. I don't know why, but apparently it would. I wouldn't be surprised if something comes out later like this Avonte Maddox release is going to be designated June 1st, because that's $7.1 million. I mean, that's $5 million in cap space extra that you get. Maybe they want the $2 million for free agency, which tells you if they're worrying about $2 million extra for free agency and you're already $40-something million under the cap, this team is getting ready to be super active. I mean, super active in free agency, and I have no doubt about it. But Avonte Maddox, he's a really good player. He is. He goes out there. He plays well when he plays, but he's always hurt. That's the problem with him. Year after year, he's always hurt. He's always on, the injury report with a big-ass toe problem. His toe is always hurt. And then if it's not his toe, and once that's better, it's something else. And then when he gets healthy, he comes back, and it's his toe again. So, Avonte Maddox, I like the kid a lot. I do. but releasing him is not a surprise. Isaiah Rodgers is going to be a stud. I mean, we forgot all about him last year because he was suspended, but him in the nickel is going to be awesome. He is going to make a huge impact for the Eagles, Isaiah Rodgers, and he's an upgrade over Avonte Maddox. Now, if they can bring Avonte Maddox back at a cheap level, and I'm assuming that they are. See, I think Avonte Maddox is coming back because otherwise, there's no way you release him now and not wait till June 1st and get the extra $5 million in cap savings. So that's the only reason I can think of. It's the only thing that I've heard that makes any sense why you would cut him now. But Avonte Maddox, I think he comes back in some sort of lesser role, but it's not going to be for a lot of money. So maybe he doesn't want to come back. I don't know. But it's just like, get the extra $5 million in cap space. Okay, you might not use it now, but are we really going to be sweating $2 million until June 1st? So I don't know, but it is what it is. But Isaiah Rodgers is going to be a stud. He was a great pickup, and I expect big things of him from him. And if you can turn around and have Avonte Maddox be in that rotation for your secondary, why not? You can never have too many cornerbacks. But man, the Eagles are gearing up, man. They are gearing up. I'm just confused by it. Like I'm hitting refresh here on Twitter and stuff, trying to figure out, like, okay, why are we doing this now and not June when you get the extra $5 million? It doesn't make sense to me. You're getting $2 million in cap savings right now, and then if you would have waited till June 1st, you would actually have gotten $7 million. So to me, it just, it's just crazy. Anyways, the Eagles, Avonte Maddox, he's gone. You got Isaiah Rodgers, and like I said, I expect a really, really active free agency period. I think the Eagles are going to be all out. There are a ton of safeties. I don't know if you guys saw, Poyer just got cut from Buffalo. You have Xavier McKinney out there. You have C.J. Gardner-Johnson out there. We've got to find a safety. We still need more corner. I still think we need another starting corner, although I'm leaning towards that in the draft. But the Eagles, wanting that extra $2 million, being $44 million under the cap now, I expect this team to be super active in free agency. Now, cutting Avonte Maddox this early for only $2 million in cap savings, yes, it's $2 million, and yes, you get to save $2 million, but you could have saved an extra $5 million if you waited to June 1st. June 1st, I think you can only designate 2 players post June 1st, which makes you wonder, who are the Eagles planning to cut as June 1st designations? That's going to be really interesting. But, I mean, at the end of the day, we knew this was going to happen. It's just happening way earlier than I thought. And the other thing I want to say is, in my last video, I talked about Saquon Barkley and Xavier McKinney, and we talked about possibility of the Eagles going out and getting a running back. And in order for them to actually do something like that, it would need to be a change in philosophy. And I think the Eagles need a change in philosophy. Not totally like start over, change the whole thing, but I think they need to tweak it. For example, I think the way that they look and value linebackers needs to change. I think the way they value running backs need to change. I think the way that the Eagles maybe look at their roster year in and year out needs to change. For example, if the Eagles approach this offseason right and they strengthen their strength in their offense could carry this team next year and make them a team that could win a Super Bowl. However, if the Eagles, was this cat crying? What the hell is going on? But if this team, you hear this? My cats are wanting to make babies. I make babies first, and you cats make babies. Me first. And I have to, my wife has to come home, and I have to come home from work. But you don't talk about making babies. I'm up next, me and my wife. But anyways, what I was saying is the Eagles need to tweak their philosophy on how they go about. I was just about to say, how about making babies? I'm totally lost here. But they need to tweak their philosophy on how they approach the roster. Right now, the Eagles have to look at their roster and say, our strength is our offense. If we build our offense enough this offseason, then it can carry us next year and we can compete for a Super Bowl while rebuilding and retooling our defense. Okay, you have to look at what's on your roster and you have to be able to say, all right, we have talent here, we have talent here, we have talent here, but we lack talent here, we lack talent here. Let's build this thing the right way. And I think a change of philosophy is coming on some level. And maybe, just maybe, the fact that Avonte Maddox is getting cut right now for only $2 million in cap savings tells you that the Eagles want as much money as possible in order to go out and be aggressive in free agency. I expect the Eagles to be one of the top 3 most aggressive teams in free agency. I think the Eagles are going to make a lot of signings. I think they're going to make a lot of moves, and I think it's going to be really interesting. To me, this is kind of a surprise because Avonte Maddox getting cut this early is just like, when does Howie Roseman ever lose $1 on cap space? Ever. And he's willing to forego $5 million by not just waiting a few months. Why? So he could re-sign Avonte Maddox? I don't know if I buy that. I think the reason why he's getting that extra $2 million right now is because he's going to need it with the amount of moves that he is planning and that the Eagles are going to make. It's the only thing that makes sense. So when we talk about changing the philosophy and tweaking the philosophy so that you value linebackers, that you value running backs, I think this is the year we're going to actually see it. I think it could happen. And, Avonte Maddox, maybe he comes back, maybe he doesn't, but Isaiah Rodgers is going to be more than enough for an upgrade. With that said, I better get back to work before I'm late. Take care. Talk to you later. Of course, don't be a dingbat. Remember, it's Howie Vision, baby. We're all just living in it. I'll tell you something else that's weird. Zach Ertz signed a 1-year deal with the Commanders. The Commanders. So we're going to see him twice next year. It's going to be weird playing against Zach Ertz. It really is. And him going to the Commanders for a 1-year deal, I don't know. I don't know if I like it. I'd rather him go somewhere where we don't have to play him, because when I close my eyes, Zach Ertz is an Eagle and always will be an Eagle. I hate seeing him in other jerseys. And that's the one good thing about Kelsey retiring. We never, ever have to see that. Denzel Washington out.